Okay, we're gonna get come over. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for keeping your distance from each other, and we from each other here. This is a very special day for us. I think it sends a very clear message to the American people, to America's families gathered in their homes, to all of the healthcare workers working to bring solace, minister to the needs of people who need their help, to the families who've lost a loved one. We want to send the message to them that our hearts are full of love. America's hearts are full of love for them. And we are all a family. And like many families, we have our differences, but we also know what is important to us. And America's families are important for us. So we're so pleased today to be able to have passed on the floor, practically unanimously, this important bill, CARES. And we want to demonstrate that we do care for the American people in every way. We are so honored to have the distinguished Republican leader of the House with us today. I was honored to work with him in a very bipartisan way as we went along. Again, having our disagreements, but also knowing our purpose. With that, I want to yield to the distinguished Democratic leader. Excuse me. He called you the majority leader. I'm calling you the Democratic leader. Sandy called him that. And in the event, the distinguished Republican leader of the House, his office is right there. You see the sign, Kevin McCarthy of California.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker, and a belated happy birthday to you. To the American public, we hear you, and we're working for you. To those who are on the front line in the medical community, we cannot thank you enough. Within this bill, there's more than $140 billion for hospitals. Not just the necessity of the money, but also for the equipment to make sure to keep you safe and actually perform your job. To every small business that is asked to shut down and everyone who works for a small business, now the resources are there for you. If you own a small business, apply for the loan. If you pay your employees, if you pay your rent, and you pay your utilities, that is not a loan. That is a grant. To the others, we have a tax credit for retention to keep your employees working. We will get through this together. I want to thank so many of you who've worked on this bill. I want to especially thank those ranking members on the Republican side that worked with their chairman and worked with the senators. Kevin Brady, especially, Greg Walden, who's done so much, Patrick McHenry, Virginia Fox, Shabbat, Sam Graves, Rodney Davis, you go Mike Conaway, Tom Cole, Rob Bishop, Jim Jordan, Frank Lucas, Mike McCall, Kenny Marchant, Phil Rowe, Mac Thornberry, Mike Rogers, everybody coming together in Devon to make sure we could make this all be fruition to today. As I said on the floor, the virus is here. We did not ask for it. We did not invite it. We did not choose it. But with the passing of this bill, you will see that we will fight it together, and we will win together. And I want to thank our colleagues for that type of work. I especially want to thank the majority leader for his work today and the works in the future, that we can all work together and put America first. And to the Speaker, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you very much, Mr. Leader. I want to join you in acknowledging the leadership of our committees on all of this. Chairman Neal, you started with Ways and Means, so will I. Richie Neal, Nita Lowey, who's not here right now, but who led the fight in the Appropriations Committee, important discussions in the Appropriations Committee. Here's Rosa DeLauro from the committee, who represented her committee on the floor and in the discussions. Peter DeFazio, Transportation and Infrastructure. Bobby Scott, Education and Labor. Maxine Waters, Financial Services. Mark Takano, Veterans Affairs. Nydia Velasquez, Small Business. Frank Pallone, Energy and Commerce. Jim McGovern, our Rules Committee chair, was very helpful to us, as was so many of our other members. leaders here. I do want to acknowledge also Zoe Lofgren from House Administration. And then, of course, our distinguished leader, Mr. Hoyer, thank you for leading us on the floor today, but not only that, leading us through all of this discussion. Mr. Clyburn, to make sure that we were not only on course substantively, but that we had the numbers needed to get the job done today. That would not have happened without you. To Mr. Ben Ray Lujan, thank you so much also for your work. And I do want to acknowledge Chuck Schumer and some of the members on the Senate, Dick Durbin especially, and members of their committees as well. But this is what we have to do now. And as the leader was speaking, I'm further and encouraged to say that we have to do now, well, we need to do more. But in terms of this bill, what we're all working on right now is to translate it into what it means, a toolkit for our members, so that any one of their constituents, if they're a small business owner, whatever their category is, that they know immediately how they can avail themselves of what is in this legislation. It's there, it's substantial. We need to do more. I just want to say once again, I think it's very important that we do more for the personal protective equipment so that our healthcare providers have what they need. And I want to acknowledge the great work of Congresswoman Anna Eshoo in this regard. Greg Walden has been working on all of this as well.
I think I forgot Kay Granger, so you thank her.
Yes, and on the Appropriations Committee, they worked in a bipartisan way in the House and with the Senate on that. And I want to join the leader in acknowledging not only Nita Lowey as our chair, but Kay Granger as the ranking member on the committee. So with that, it's now time for me to sign the enrollment of the legislation so we can send it right over to the Senate. We thought Senator Grassley would be with us, but then he had a change of plans, but we'll send it to them, and then they will send it to the president so that he can sign it as soon as possible, so that as soon as possible its benefits will be available to the American people. I thank all of those who are gathered here for their distinguished contribution to all of this. I wish I could have a pen for all of them. As you know, I usually like to do that. However, they told me to find this I Here we are. Aren't we proud? We're proud.
Well, I think, as I said on the board, this was truly a bipartisan effort. You saw the board, while there was one member who expressed reservations, every other member told us that this is the right thing to do. Instead of faith, instead of by their sitting down, instead of by their vote of a strong aye, a vote. There were some members who could not be here because either they're quarantined or they have family members who they were concerned about. But this was all members of the Congress of the United States supporting this legislation and a product of everybody as well. And I want to thank the leader for our working together in such a constructive and effective fashion.
So don't forget, wash your hands, 20 seconds. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. 6 feet apart. Thank you all.
Thank you, Speaker.
Start writing it right now. More money, more
You're gonna need more cash in the system.
Yeah. Okay, let's give it our best shot. Give it our best shot.